The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. We'll throw you over to the Philippine Statistics Authority's live report on the preliminary results of the labor force survey for January.
Nitong Enero 2022, ito ay ang Cordillera Administrative Region, Regions 2, 7, 10, Caraga Region at BARM. Sa buwan ng Enero 2022, ang Mimaropa Region ang nakapagtala ng may pinakamataas na underemployment rate na nasa 25.0%, habang ang National Capital Region naman ang may pinakamababang underemployment rate na nasa 9.0%. Kumpara noong Oktubre 2021, mapapansin nitong Enero 2022 ang pagtaas ng underemployment rate sa 7 riyon. Ito ay ang Cordillera Administrative Region, Regions 2, 8, 9, 10, 11 at BARM. Sa kabilang banda, mapapansin nitong Enero 2022 ang malaking pagbaba ng underemployment rate sa Region 4A. Ito ay mula sa mga subsectors ng wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, construction, at agriculture and forestry. Mapapansin din nitong Enero 2022 ang malaking pagbaba sa underemployment rate sa Region 5. Ito naman ay mula sa mga subsector ng agriculture and forestry, wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, at manufacturing. Kung ang datos ng pangunahing sektor naman ng ating titingnan nitong Enero 2022, ang services sector pa rin ang nananatiling bumubuo sa may pinakamalaking bahagi ng labor force na may 58.9% share. Kasunod dito ang agriculture sector na may 21.7% share, habang ang industry sector naman ay nagkaroon ng share na 19.3%. Kung ikukumpara ang estimates ng mga subsector nitong Enero 2022 sa Enero 2021, ang mga subsector na may pinakamalaking pagtaas sa bilang ng may trabaho o negosyo ay ang mga sumusunod. Manufacturing na may dagdag na 490,000. Administrative and support service activities na may dagdag na 413,000. Wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles plus 363,000. Transportation and storage may dagdag na 225,000. At public administration and defense, compulsory social security na may dagdag na 222,000. Kung ikukumpara naman ang estimates ng mga subsector nitong Enero 2022 sa Oktubre 2021, ang mga subsector na may pinakamalaking pagtaas sa bilang ng may trabaho o negosyo ay ang mga sumusunod. Transportation and storage na may dagdag na 327,000. Manufacturing, 304,000. Administrative and support service activities may dagdag na 229,000. Construction may dagdag na 167,000. At other service activities katulad ng repairs of motor computers and personal and household goods, laundry services, domestic services, funeral-related activities, other personal service activities, and other personal service activities for wellness na may dagdag na 117,000. Sa kabilang banda, ang mga subsector na may pinakamalaking pagbaba sa bilang ng may trabaho o negosyo kung ikumpara ang Enero 2022 sa Enero 2021 ay ang mga sumusunod. Agriculture and forestry may bawas na 740,000. Education, negative 17,000. Real estate activities, negative 4,000. At activities of extraterritorial organizations and bodies, negative 0.9,000. Samantala, ang mga subsector na may pinakamalaking pagbaba sa bilang ng may trabaho o negosyo kung ikumpara ang Enero 2022 sa Oktubre 2021 ay ang mga sumusunod. Agriculture and forestry, negative 1.23 million. Wholesale and retail trade, repair of motor vehicles and motorcycles, negative 705,000. Fishing and aquaculture, negative 185,000. Human health and social work activities, negative 83,000. Real estate activities, negative 20,000. Tinatayang nasa 30.3% ang mga employed na nagtrabaho o nagnegosyo na hindi aabot sa 40 hours sa isang linggo nitong Enero 2022.
Now, just to recap on the labor force survey, the country's unemployment rate went down in January to 6.4% according to the PSA. The PSA also reports that employment rose to 93.6%. Unemployment, meanwhile, stood at 14.9% in January. So again, just to recap on the labor force survey, the country's unemployment rate went down. We'll go back to that. Meanwhile, to offset the continuous rise in fuel products, the government is now looking at a possible 4-day work week. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez has the story.
Now that the proposal to suspend fuel excise taxes has failed, officials are turning to another solution, a 4-day work week. It was proposed by NEDA Secretary Carl Chua at the cabinet meeting this week in lieu of a wage increase amid fare hike. The Energy Department agreed it could help Filipinos minimize expenses.
We also support yung panukala na 4-day week work at saka yung panukala rin pong palawigin muna natin ang work from home para sa ganun po mabawasan ng pagbiyahe ng ating mga mamamayan.
Secretary Chua's idea is to extend daily working hours from 8 to 10. That way, the work week still adds up to 40 hours. But President Advisor for Entrepreneurship Joey Concepcion pointed out that this only makes sense for white-collar workers.
People who are running plants will have to have their factory workers present. We only run for 4 days. We might not have enough supply for the market, especially those who are in the food and beverage business.
Concepcion said another way to do it would be to keep the daily working hours to 8, but make Friday a work-from-home day. The 4-day workweek idea is gaining steam in the post-pandemic world, with a number of countries like the UAE, New Zealand, Japan, and Spain already experimenting with it. Economists say it also should not hurt economic output since it will encourage people to spend on their rest days.
Later on sa weekend, gagamitin din naman nila sa pamilya yon para gumastos po sila. Magiging pinakamalaking driver of our economy.
Congresswoman Stella Kimbo says this could be a good stopgap measure.
Menos transportation, di ba? 1 day rin yun of expenses. Malaking tulong yun.
Malacanang has already said President Duterte will make a decision on it by March 21. He has typically followed the recommendations of the economic cluster. Mobile journalist Pamela Vasquez, We Are One News.
The president of the Employers Confederation of the Philippines says a 4-day work week is not the right solution to high pump prices. Sergio Ortiz Luis Jr. said that the 8-hour work week is already optimized for maximum productivity. He added that extending the employees' working hours will be dangerous.
There are inherent dangers, not only to the mental health, but physical danger if you extend the working hours. You saw already our health workers during the pandemic. They work, and many of them had mental fatigue, they're stressed. Some of them are even depressed, and to feel that doing a 4-day work will be saving. I don't think so.
The business leader said if the government really wants to provide reprieve from oil prices, then there's a better way to do it.
Well, if the purpose is to save gasoline or whatever, I think they're doing it the wrong way. It's easier to do it by fixing the traffic and fixing the mass transportation.
Fire razed a residential area in Taguig City last night. Elsewhere in the city, a couple was shot multiple times by still unidentified gunmen. Justin Punsalang with the details.
Residents of Maharlika Village in Taguig City were jolted awake by a fire last night. According to residents, around 11 in the evening, they heard some of their neighbors shouting about the ongoing fire. But by the time most residents were able to leave their homes, the fire was already big.
Kanina na yung mga bata po, nagtatakbuhan, inandun po ako sa loob ng bahay. Eh di ko pinapansin kasi nga po, ugali na po yan dito sa amin. Pag anong oras, may mga bata pa, nagtatakbuhan. Eh nagulatan lang po ako nung may mga sumisigaw na sunog.
According to the Taguig BFP, the flames spread easily because the houses were mostly made of light materials. They also had a hard time extinguishing the fire.
Medyo masikip ang daan. So, more or less one lane lang. Pag nakapasok ang fire truck, hindi na halos makalabas. Yung kasagsagan ng apoy, medyo malakas ang hangin.
70 shanties were charred, leaving 300 families homeless. Currently, they are staying at the Maharlika Elementary School. Many of the residents were not able to save their belongings, including Rohana Kasan, whose 2-year savings from selling puto was turned into ash.
May apoy na. Ang nakuha ko lang yung mga vaccine ko lang sa bag ko. At saka yung mga ID ko na senior. Yung 36,000 ko, wala na kahit piso.
Kasan added that she was supposed to deposit her money in the bank this morning. The fire reached third alarm and was fully extinguished at 1:37 a.m. It also left damages amounting to an estimated 750,000 pesos. The BFP is still investigating what could have caused the fire. Meanwhile, also in Taguig City last night, live-in partners Richard Profitales and Shaira May Isip were repeatedly shot inside their home in Barangay Tuktukan. Profitales was shot multiple times on the head and was declared dead on the spot, while Isip received gunshot wounds on her leg and is currently being treated at the hospital. According to the victim's brother, the couple was preparing for bed when two unidentified men entered their house.
Si Mili po sa may bahay na bukas, naglilinis yung kapatid ko. Maya siguro mga 5 minutes. Nandun na pag-uwi ko sa bahay, sa kwarto na ako. May narinig ko ng unang putok, 2 putok.
Richie immediately went out to investigate. He even saw the gunman leaving his brother's house. Fortunately,
wala naman po kaming alam na ang apo ko may kaaway, may kabantaan. Wala naman po Wala naman nung makapagsasabing may kaaway. Bagamat may pagkabarumbado, wala na kaming nabalitaan na nasangkot sa Cebu o anuman, o trouble o kabarkada. Wala na kaming balita
13 bullet slugs were recovered by police at the crime scene. Although CCTV cameras in the area were able to capture the gunman's movements, the footages were not released to the media. For News 5, Justine Punsalang. We are One News.
And those are the top stories of the hour. Join us later again at 11 in the morning as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.